I'm going to talk about the state of play in agentic commerce, which is obviously what we're all very excited and passionate about. The agentic discovery shift. We are today in a similar inflection point of the early 2000s, when Google went from 10% of Yahoo search volume to 10x it over a handful of years. In this previous shift, we had winners. Of course, TripAdvisor, they understood the PageRank algorithm. They gave hundreds of thousands of backlinks to their restaurants and hotels, which fed the PageRank algorithm juice from Google and took them to 15 billion peak market cap. Who here's heard of Virtual Tourist? Anyone? I know some of you have, because you've seen me give this presentation before. At least some of you have. Virtual Tourist was started the month before TripAdvisor, also in San Francisco, but now out of business in 2007. Of course, many reasons why some companies win and some companies lose, but the CEO and founder of TripAdvisor has spoken about how SEO is a key part of their strategy. Today, we're in a new era. On Black Friday alone, one day, 14 billion worth of sales is driven by AI chatbots and agents, and it influences 20% of purchases, according to Salesforce. 60% of consumers have replaced traditional search engines with AI for recommendations and purchasing products. And of course, as AI adoption increases, brand real estate shrinks, and this is why it's so critical. There's about 200 items on a shelf when you go into a supermarket. Back when I used to work at Amazon, being on page 1, being one of 50 was fine. Today, we're in a world where 5 get recommended by shopping agents like ChatGPT and Gemini and Rufus and Sparky. And soon we'll be in a world where you ask AI a question, it will give you an answer, it will know you intimately, and you'll be super grateful that you've saved all this time doing all the research and trust your agent completely. And Google itself has adapted to tie this back to the start of the presentation. Now 65% of Google searches enter at a click. And Google have just launched this new search experience at I/O, so we're going to see the whole experience reinvented. So why is this different? This is Cosmo. Who's familiar with Cosmo? Great, it's about half the room. There's a new paper we're going to be talking about today, which I think is going to be just as important and influential as Cosmo. But Cosmo was kind of the reason we started Azoma, honestly. But Cosmo underlines a shift that's happening. We're now optimizing for the world knowledge of an LLM. We're not optimizing for keywords. As I said, I used to work at Amazon. When I worked at Amazon, the way the algorithm worked is we'd rank stuff based off keywords. So it would be based off about 30 signals, the AI algorithm. Price, sales velocity, reviews, these kind of things. And we'd stack rank which keyword to put up at what point. Today, the AI understands users intimately. In goes a prompt. Prompts are typically 26 words. It goes through the world knowledge of an LLM. Sorry, it's broken down to the tokens. Goes through the world knowledge of an LLM, and it generates an output super personalized to that user. So it's a totally different technology experience. And as we know, it's more complicated because of query Fanout. So on average, in our own data, looking at tens of millions of prompts, we've seen that the average ChatGPT query has done 10 sub-queries when you put it in. And you can look at this when you just look at the thinking and see where ChatGPT is going. And on average, it cites 15 sources. We're in a massively evolving landscape. Today, AI kind of shopping is prevalent. Soon we're going to be in a world, and I look forward to the panel discussing this, on agent-to-agent interplay. And soon, agentic shopping will be the default. We're all going to have our own virtual agents, maybe like an OpenClaw, an Anthropic, or even a Gemini Spark we're about to talk about. We'll have wearable technology helping us to order or buy supplements and fitness stuff. And we may even have infused appliances. And we've seen a lot of smart glasses from big tech companies, which I'll talk about in a second. The other big shift is that customers trust this more than their friends and family. They trust it more than social media. They trust it more than your website. People intimately trust these AI engines. And this is why if you get this right, and we're going to talk about how to do that today, you're in a good position to win. So the race. We'll go through all the different engines and what they're doing and set the scene for the next panel. So Alexa for shopping. As mentioned, Amazon have been a leader in this for a long time. It started with Cosmo. Cosmo was released like 2 or 3 years ago now. This paper shows that this is the original Cosmo paper saying that they did this split test on 10% of US traffic and saw a 0.7% increase in product sales, and it's going to be worth billions. Then we had Rufus. Rufus, Andy Jassy said in the last all hands, drove 12 billion in incremental revenue, and the customers who use it are 60% more likely to purchase. hence why they keep pushing folks through it. Do we have someone from Sensor Tower here? They definitely signed up. Maybe they haven't got here yet. But Sensor Tower data is even more impressive than what Andy Jassy said in Q4. Sensor Tower data shows that they're 2.7x more likely to purchase than those who don't use Rufus. And the more you talk with it, the more likely you are to purchase. So when you get down to 11 asks, which is a lot talking to Rufus, but some people get there, you're 60% likely to make that purchase. It now has citations and memory. Of course, we've now got Alexa for shopping. In this announcement, they described it as an expert shopper who understands your preferences and your conversations. And I'm really excited to announce some data, never seen before data anywhere. I don't think any other company in the world has this data. How is Rufus different to Alexa? We've collected millions of citations of both of them. And we can see that actually, in the response structure, doesn't really change. It's like a 2% change. But actually, Alexa's getting a lot more personalized. That's the biggest thing that's changing. Phrases like best for you or like the personalized recommendations are already dramatically increasing when we're looking at Alexa. They've also launched a few new features like Agentic Checkout. And do we have Catherine here? There she is. So Catherine broke this story amazingly on how they're going to basically change to this kind of AI overview style in Amazon. It's already being split tested, so you can ask her more questions if you have any on that. Final slide on Rufus. I found this really interesting. Generate, who collect a panel. We don't particularly like panel data at Azoma, but I think it's quite interesting just to look at it. They say, looking at 200,000 shoppers, that females are more like, or women, as they're more known commonly, more likely to use Rufus than males. And also, the highly educated use it more as well. So obviously, that is probably driving why more purchases are going through Rufus. So then there's Gemini. Gemini is rapidly gaining market share. We can't quite see it here, but they're taking chunks out of ChatGPT. Anthropic, I'll talk about, but who here has Anthropic as their favorite default LLM? I think those in the know, those who like this stuff, know that Anthropic is the best, but I think the average shopper will go to ChatGPT or Gemini, and we're seeing Gemini make massive inroads. In their I.O., they said that they've got 1 billion AI mode users every month. It's doubled every quarter since launch. It's kind of pretty staggering. They also won the battle for the protocol. Now all of the major players, including Amazon, including Salesforce, are on the UCP. So they've won that. The rails for Agentic Commerce is going to be Google. They've also got 60 billion products in their catalogs. Once they launch these agents, they're going to be pretty good. And Sundar Pichai said a week ago, we are firmly in our agentic era. And he introduced Gemini Spark, which is this new super assistant. Has anyone used it yet? I don't know if it's live yet, but it looks very cool. It's like OpenClaw, but a Google version, so probably a bit safer than OpenClaw. They also have launched a universal cart. Again, this is coming in summer, but this will have a multi-merchant cart across all of your different channels. Walmart and Target apparently have already subscribed to it. And it will track your price, and your reviews. It will give you the best credit card to use and the best offers to use. They're launching this new type of search agent where it will monitor the web for you 24/7 and find updates for you. So they're really going in AI. Just two more on it. It's quite technical. This one is important, AP2. So they've just launched this new protocol of how agents can buy on behalf of humans, which is very important because people don't trust agents, but this enables you to track all the set boundaries and then track what you're spending. And they just announced these very fashionable glasses that are going to kind of do VR and AR kind of commerce as well. So that's Google. Then we have Sparky. The quotes coming out of the folks at Walmart are absolutely wild. I love it. Harry Vasson, I can't pronounce that, said that we expect the search bar and the conventional way of search for items will be replaced by Sparky. We've had John Rainey, the CFO, said that roughly half of Walmart app users have used Sparky, and those who use it place orders on average 35% larger. And then that was last earnings call. This earnings call, he followed it up even more heavily, saying we're becoming AI native thanks to Sparky. Weekly active users up 100% in the last quarter, and purchases have grown 4x. And then he repeated the kind of 35% stat he used before. So these guys are going really all in on Sparky, and it has citations, so it kind of functions like a ChatGPT or a Gemini when you use it. Then we have Meta. I wouldn't discount Meta out of this agentic commerce race. They have more app users than anyone else. If you think about ChatGPT, the biggest LLM, Meta have 2 billion daily active users across 3 apps. Probably all of us in here use it a lot more than we would like. On average, 45 minutes a day, which is crazy as you start to think about how they're going to roll out Agentic Commerce. They just bought Maltbook, which is the next social media for AI agents exclusively. So they're already looking at this agentic era. And Mr. Zuckerberg said that in the latest earnings call that they're currently, what they do is they help people stay in touch with friends, but now they're going to try and help improve their lives, and this will have implications on commerce. And they've launched their Meta AI app, and have this augmented reality service as well. Lastly, with ChatGPT, of course, still important. 1 in 4 conversations with ChatGPT are relevant for the folks here in the room. But in my mind, they're facing the Netscape trap, which is obviously Netscape was the first internet browser. They invented it. They went to market very quickly, but then they died eventually. And I think ChatGPT in this kind of era whereby they've got Gemini eating into them, they've got Anthropic who have taken a slightly different enterprise route and generating more revenue than them. So they've taken this route of building lots of apps in ChatGPT. If you're a retailer in this room, I highly recommend you do this, and obviously we can help you do that. Target have looked into this and believe this is a big focus. So have Sephora launched their app in ChatGPT. They also start speaking to other retailer LLMs like Sparky, which I think is very cool and an interesting way to go. They've launched ChatGPT Health, which can intimately get to know you and help you recommend specific supplements and this kind of thing based on your medical data that it has and your MyFitnessPal, food tracking and all of this kind of stuff. So Sam Altman also has this vision of this agent similar to what Google have just launched. They want to build a personal shopping assistant, a personal assistant that gets to know you and proactively messages you. And they're quite open claw to which points further in this direction. And they're launching a physical device as well, which is a theme running through all of these. Lastly, I'll just touch on the other players and what they're doing. Of course, we have Claude, our Anthropic. All the folks who said they use it are right. You're the smart people because it's the smartest model by the independent benchmarking. And they've had a pretty big week. They've just raised 65 billion and they're going to go public last week. So they're an interesting player, although as we showed in the previous graph, actually for the average shopper and consumer, it's more for the business folks, it's more for the folks coding, it's less for kind of the average consumer. We've seen other retailers adopt LLMs. We have Macy's, who launched a shopping assistant and saw 400x spend through doing that. Obviously, I'm from the UK, if you haven't worked it out by now. And in the UK, we have Argos, which is Trevor. We have Tesco's, which have launched their own app. So everyone's doing this. Everyone's launching these agents. And the future is people firstly shopping through these agents and then this agent-to-agent commerce that we've discussed. So what should you do? Probably the number one question. What should you do about this? We're going to announce today the 5C framework, which is basically the new framework you should all be adopting and thinking about to optimize in the agentic commerce era. But I'm not going to steal the thunder of Max and Lauren. I'm going to hand it over and let them present exactly what this is. But thank you, and you can download the white paper for the 5Cs here.